Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining me again today. I've got a circle spinner card for you with a shaker in the middle, and of course it's a Christmas card. Now this is the one I had made originally, and then to make the video I get bored easily, so I've made a slightly different one for this video, so it'll give you two examples. But no matter what, you're going to start with some circle dies. Now I have chosen you'll need a few circles. So there's this outer circle that you're going to need and an inner circle which will be for the shaker. So you can see I've got the three dies there. My outer one is 3.5 inches in diameter. The middle one is 2.5 inches in diameter, and the inner circle is 2 inches in diameter. So it's basically those two rings that you're going to need. The middle part, the small circle that you cut in the middle, you don't need. And all those images go on that outer circle, and then the inner one is for the shaker part. And you're going to cut two of each of those. So I just run it through twice. I keep them taped together and run it through. Now this little part holds that outer spinning circle down. So it needs to be slightly bigger. And so what I did is I took that inner circle and then a slightly smaller outer circle one. I don't know what the dimension of that one was, but it's a bit smaller. And I just cut that off. I was trying to make it look like a snowbank. I don't know that I succeeded at that, but that was my intention. So if it looks wonky, it's because it's a snowbank. So the card is going to be square in order to let that circle go. So this is my Cosmic Shimmer Pixie Sparkle background. Now I do design for Creative Expressions who own Cosmic Shimmer, but I love these Pixie Sparkles, and I'm just showing you here. I have Brusho, Nuvo, and the Cosmic Shimmer, but the Brusho doesn't really have any sparkle to it. It's pretty, but it doesn't. The Nuvo has some sparkle, but the Cosmic Shimmer, those Pixie Sparkles, they are gorgeous. So I'm using this little tiny snowflake. It's from the Santa with Letters set. And I'm just going to stamp around that outer ring. I'm using tumbled glass and shaded lilac to color up those snowflakes. So I'm doing that on that outer circle where all the images will be adhered, and also on that snowbank inner circle. And once I've done that, I'm just going over with Versamark ink and I'm just covering them so I can put some Aurora Sparkle embossing powder on this to give it a bit of a glittery, shiny look. That is also from Cosmic Shimmer, that Aurora Sparkle. And so here, that circle will end up going in the middle, and I need to sort of figure out where my images will go because Santa goes above, but what I do is I use my envelope. So I have a 6x6 inch envelope that I use for my square cards. And I'm just going to move this card down to the bottom and figure out where to position Santa because he is the tallest of all the images. And his one little yoga arm there extends high, almost to the top of that envelope. So I'm going to now just glue each of these images down. So you can see I've used the my favorite Christmas set, the reindeer and a tree stamp set from Gerda Steiner Designs. And I'm just gluing these little guys all around, and there is the one larger reindeer there from the Namaste set. You want to be sure that you don't extend into that inner circle because that will stop the movement of it spinning. But I'm also decorating the back of this outer ring, and so I'm adhering these little presents and snowflakes to the back side of that ring. And you'll see how we fix that in a minute just so that it doesn't catch as it spins around. So I have die cut some snowflakes in white and holographic cardstock, and I'm just putting those down behind. So once I've got all of those on, that second ring that we cut will now go on top of this one, and that will help keep it smooth on the back so that it doesn't catch as it spins around. So just putting that one down. And then I've also die cut a circle of heat resistant acetate for the center of the shaker. And here I've really used anti-static powder on that plastic, and I am just stamping that image and heat setting with some silver embossing powder. And you can see it really sticks to the acetate, but just give it a good flick and it will come off. And then I'm going to glue one of these shaker circles onto that acetate, and that will be the top part of the shaker part of the card. So just gluing that down. So once that's done, it's time to glue the bottom shaker circle down. So I'm actually just eyeballing where the center of my card is. You could mark it. I just didn't want to leave a pencil mark on the front because you'll see that through the shaker. So I'm just eyeballing that, and it worked out. Now to build up the walls of that shaker, I'm using double-sided foam tape. And what I do is I stick it on some scrap release paper so that it makes it a little bit easier to cut, because then there is no sticky edge that's up. So it's quite easy to cut this now. And I cut it into thirds. I wanted it to be fairly thin, and you'll see why in a minute. You don't want it to be as wide as that white circle that we have down there. So I'm going on the inside of that circle. And what that does is it gives you a little bit more room for the outer spinning circle to spin around. Otherwise, it's quite a tight fit. So I am being careful to keep that on the inside there. And I've done 2 layers of that foam tape, so it's stacked up a bit for the shaker. And because that outer circle is going to be moving around, I just like to put some anti-static powder on the outside of that foam tape just to make sure it doesn't stick down. Then you can put your sequin mix in and line up the top so that you can read the writing. I'll tell you that from experience. You want to be sure that's going the right way up and not at an angle so it doesn't look weird on the card. Then this outer circle can go down, and as you can see there's a bit of wiggle room there now because that foam tape was narrower. And then all that's left is that you're going to need to glue this circle, the snowbank circle, down, and that will actually hold the outer ring in place. So once that's glued down, I like to just stick it down because it's glue. I just stick it and put my blocks on it. And now I've got my card base here. I think if your background was really warped, I would use glue. I didn't think mine was too bad, so I used my tape gun. But it goes down, and I usually stick it down. I wasn't sure underneath the center part how stuck down it was, so I actually put this under blocks for a minute or two before I really took the pressure off. But that's all there is to it. So that's this version of the card. I like both of them, but I just think they're fun. And then you can spin them around and shake them up and down as well. So I think that could be whatever you guys have in your stash. It could be a wreath, it could be little houses going around, could be all kinds of little animals. So just have a look and see what you've got. But they're fun cards and really quite easy. You just need some circle dies to make those, obviously. So there you have them. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. I hope you're having a great day. Thanks.